fish. Okay, we're live. Hey, look, this morning I went out and got some catfish as requested by my friend Scott. He kept asking, "Hey, go get some catfish and show that." And so I got some. I got a couple catfish. The catfish in Utah Lake are big. Okay, so this is not some little trout that we're talking about here. I think I got two today, and I weighed them, and they're about 7 pounds a piece. You know, give or take. Mostly give. I think one is actually 7.2 and the other is 7. But they're big catfish. Now, catfish, they have these spines, and you can kind of see them right here. On top is this little, on the dorsal fin is this like weapon of mass destruction up here. And then they have a couple of those on the down below here on their fins. There's also another weapon of mass destruction there. You want to be careful of that, and keep in mind that catfish, they stay alive a long time. And so right now they're barely alive, but they're still alive and nice and fresh. And let's see if we can fillet some get some good fillets off of this fish here. So with the catfish, it's not like a trout. It's more rounded. So you have to keep in mind that you have to cut around that, and then they at the end I'll show you. You can kind of feel it, we got hard bones. Their head is hard. They got some meat up here on their cheeks, right over here, and that is let's see if I can give you a better view here. Meat on the cheeks, and this is it's not even fitting in here. And then the meat starts again about right here, and that's underneath that is a rib cage. And then down here you'll have a lot more meat, like what they used to fight with, because these were some major fights that I had today. So let's do that. I'm going to start by taking this one out right here, and you can kind of feel where the meat is, and you just kind of punch your knife down until you feel ribs. And then on top there's a dorsal bone. You have to kind of go around it, and then back here again, you're really getting into some meat. So looking good here. And then of course you're gonna follow it this way, and you'll feel bone when you get to bone. And at the first part you're gonna get mostly just a lot of bones. So you anyway, you just kind of cut it until you feel the bones, and then you kind of pull it back, pulling it back. All right, and then you can kind of hear the bones, and you want to get around those. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and then that just comes right back real nice, and you can just keep cutting it along the bone until the bone is no longer there. Okay, and then yeah, looking good. And then you'll get in the back, and then you'll be able to just slice this really good, just like you would a trout or anything really. Okay, we're gonna take them to the side here, because we got that around that rib cage here, and that was kind of the idea there. All right, and then we're gonna turn them to the side. It's a big fish, so, and you want to see the bone. I mean, you just get to the end over here, and then there's just not a lot more meat left until you can get to the meat again, and then you just got all bone. Okay, and so right up here there's a start of where the meat is, and you want to cut that skin back. Okay, and you're just basically going where you were now, and then you're going to get to, I'm going to put this on top of the board now, and you're going to get to the real meat of this, okay, which is in the tail. Cut that back right there. All right, and you can see this is just, they have sharp teeth, but they have teeth that they kind of grind, but fuzzy or whatever. And anyway, I'm gonna just go down. Now when I get down here, it's just like filleting a trout. You just take it all the way down, you know, to the tail, not quite to the end, flip it. Okay, let me pull this over here so you can see where I am. This fish is so big and it's hard to see. And anyway, you're gonna get right here, and then you're gonna take it down, and just like the trout, you're going to take that skin right off. Just lay that knife all the way across, and take the meat off of the skin. Okay, and this is not some small little tiny fillet. I mean, this is a big cat. And see, I mean, you're seeing this is just a big hunk of meat. Now, I didn't get all the skin off, but I'm going to skin it off right now. So this is where you want to kind of get in there and get that off. And what you have is just a giant size fillet. Okay, just a lot of meat. And that's that's what happens when you have a 7-pound fish, right? Maybe 7+. All right, so I'm going to take that big giant fillet. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to bag that up, and there it goes. Okay, let's come back. So it's been a long time since I filleted a catfish. That wasn't bad considering how long it's been. I'm going to turn this guy over now. Careful. They still can move. They have these, like I said, they have these giant like weapons of mass destruction. Like, I mean, you can hear them and on top, and they'll stab you. So you got to be careful. Okay, once again, you're going to go to the top. Let me lay this down here so I can get a hold of that. Going to go to the top and feel it out right here to where the meat starts. And yeah, and you got to cut around the dorsal a little bit, and then as you get to the back, then you start to see the knife goes all the way through. You know you're in the good place where you can stop doing that, and then take the knife and kind of do the same thing here on this side. Okay, until you feel the bone. Once again, cut a little skin right there. And these have skin, they don't have scales, so you don't have to worry about any scales, but that kind of makes it so if you're Jewish, I believe that's not kosher. So I think in the Sea of Galilee, when they were catching catfish, that they were probably throwing them out because they were considered they're not part of the covenant, that it's against the law of Moses to eat such a fish. All right, so then we're going to just take this off here where the meat is. Doing good, doing real good, okay? You can see it's just right along that rib cage, so that means I'm doing it right. Okay, and looking good, looking good. All right, and then when we get to the bottom here, okay, cut that off. Looks like I'm getting some bone right there, so I want to be careful. Just cut that where that skin is. All right, good. Now I'm going to turn this sideways again. Watching out for those weapons of mass destruction, of course. And let's get them on here. So I'm grabbing them by the gill, bringing them up. All right, another fillet here coming. Again, you're using the knife. Just keep taking it down. Get the meat off of there. This is a really good meaty part of the fish, so you don't want to short yourself on this. And then just get to almost the end. Don't go all the way, because then you'll have a hard time getting that skin off. And again, another big fillet coming off. These are just massive hunks of fish that you're getting with catfish. We're going to clean those up a little better, and then we're going to get them in some milk. Okay. Hey, while I'm here, I wanted to show you. I have this other side to do still, but before I do that, are we in? We're in. Okay. If you feel this, there's some meat right over here on the head, just to behind the eye. And let's see if we can get that. That's called the cheek. And I mean, catfish have this crazy, ability to clamp down on things. They have like super jaws, right? So if you take that cheek, that muscle that has that, and that's just really, it's like delicious, like a little scallop, and just amazing to eat, and not easy to get, but you can get it. Some people are better at it than I am. Okay, there's a little scallop right there. Pretty good piece of meat. And then you got to take the skin off of that, okay? And there's not that much, so it's pretty easy to do, and that's off. And now you got this hunk of meat right there. That is cheek meat.